Hurricane Katrina is still the most destructive storm in U.S. history. Today, the potential for an even worse hurricane is higher than ever. Our oceans have gotten so much hotter over the last 2 decades because of climate change. And that's allowing hurricanes, even as recently as Aaron, to become powerful Category 5 storms overnight. Meteorologist Chase Kane covered Hurricane Katrina as it made landfall and takes a look at how storms have changed since then.
In just this small area of about 5 or 6 city blocks, there are right now about 19 or 20 deaths in just that small area.
That's me as a young reporter covering the most destructive hurricane in U.S. history. Katrina caused more than $200 billion in damage and killed nearly 1,400 people. And in the 2 decades since, our oceans have gotten even hotter as a result of burning oil and gas. This illustration shows how fast ocean temperatures are rising, nearly a full degree hotter since 2005, which is a big deal because heat is what fuels hurricanes.
And unfortunately, yes, there is more of that jet fuel that these systems, tropical cyclones, can tap into and lead to rapid intensification.
When a storm's winds increase 35 miles an hour in less than 24 hours, that's rapid intensification. And that's happening more often. But so is an even newer term, extreme rapid intensification.
But look at what Milton did, 92-mile-an-hour increase, and that is one of the hallmark signatures of what climate change is doing to hurricanes, Hallie.
Well, Climate Central analysis found that since Hurricane Katrina, extreme rapid intensification is happening nearly 50% more often.
And if that intensification occurs near land, it basically cuts off any lead time and leads to a community being, in many cases, unprepared.
And that's why investments in hurricane research are so important, helping forecasters at the National Hurricane Center keep pace with how an overheating planet makes storms more intense and wetter, too.
Every hurricane contains more moisture than it would have without climate change, and that means the rainfall associated is in every case stronger than it would have been. And so the flood damage from hurricanes is larger because of climate change.
Numerous studies show that link. Researchers found Hurricane Helene dumped 10% more rain because of climate change, 18% more rain from Hurricane Ian, and up to 36% more rain during Hurricane Harvey, likely flooding twice as many homes because of climate change. And looking back to Katrina, Climate Central found the water which fueled the storm was, even at the time, 5 times more likely to be that hot because of climate change. Fast forward to today, and the Gulf is even hotter.
Folks need to realize that the 21st century climate and the type of weather extremes that we're seeing in the 21st century climate are nothing like we've lived through before. People need to be ready for these extremes and think more often than not that if there's a chance for something bad happening, it's a much bigger chance than it was in the 20th century.
The 79th North Carolina Apple Festival is underway in Hendersonville. That's the first one since Hurricane Helene. As Ray Urena reports, some say it's a welcome return to normal.
North Carolina Apple Festival officials say they expect more than 250,000 visitors for this year's festivities. It's the first one that's been held since Hurricane Helene, and there are more than a dozen orchards that are represented. Main Street Hendersonville has turned into a celebration of all things Apple this Labor Day weekend. Some orchards say they are bouncing back from weather anomalies, but overall it's been a good apple season so far. Festival leaders say apples make up a significant portion of Henderson County's economy. They say this year's theme is Orchard Roots, Mountain Spirit, to showcase the resiliency of Western North Carolina.
I think everybody has Helene on mind, and we're about a year removed from that. And so I think this is our statement of like, hey, we're still here, we're open for business, and we've got everything apple. Our Apple Grower of the Year on the stage just announced there's plenty of apples, and so we're looking forward to sharing those with the community this weekend.
All right, take a look at this massive wall of dust that covered the Phoenix Valley area. This all happened when a large dust storm rolled through the Phoenix area in Arizona Monday night. The storm cut visibility to as low as 50 feet. A dust storm warning was issued for the people in the area. That big ball of dust caused major delays and safety concerns for people at the Phoenix airport. Take a look at this story.
But it's incredible. Incredible.
A big wall of dust engulfed Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport Monday afternoon.
We've been waiting for like 4 or 5 years for one of these. to happen again.
Temporarily halting operations and interrupting flight schedules. A ground stop was ordered shortly before the dust rolled over the tarmac, stalling planes on the runway and sending crews for shelter. The orange haze hugged the airport, significantly diminishing visibility as wind gusts moving up to 70 miles per hour blew the dust from south to north and east to west.
Obviously, it is completely dark, almost like midnight now.
Then came the downpour. Heavy rain followed the dust and strong winds forced it down in every direction.
Great flight, some lightning, and everything was wonderful.
During it all, planes headed for Phoenix were diverted to neighboring states, including California, Nevada, and Texas.
He was ready to land, and then he said, wait, we're being diverted back to Vegas.
The ground stop was lifted just before 6:30, but both arrivals and departures faced significant delays.
I've been waiting about 4 hours.
As thunderstorms moved across the state.
Her flight has been delayed by about 3 hours, I guess. I don't even know if she's actually left Vegas yet.
But passengers and loved ones still waiting are just thankful everyone's getting where they're going safely.
I was praying all the way up here. I'm just like, oh gosh, just give them safe travel. You know, it's worth the wait, I guess, you know, safety first.
Well, this video is out of Black Rock City, Nevada, which shows just how reduced festival goers' visibility was during the sandstorm. In a statement, a Burning Man project spokesperson said guests reached over 45 miles per hour for a sustained period of time on Saturday. The National Weather Service issued a wind advisory, and participants and staff were advised to prepare themselves. According to the spokesperson, they also shared that with improved weather conditions on Sunday, participants helped each other repair damaged camps and art installations. Well, Labor Day weekend marks the unofficial end to summer, but some forecasters are already looking ahead to something that could impact winter weather. The latest national weather forecast show La Nina has more than a 50-50 chance of emerging this fall and sticking around for much of winter. For the southern United States, La Nina typically means a warmer and drier than usual winter, and it can bring colder temperatures and more moisture for some northwest and north central states. Forecasters say the upcoming La Nina looks to be on the weaker end of the spectrum, which could temper its effect. Well, as we look forward to the end of summer, all of the hurricane milestones are a stark reminder that we are still in the peak of hurricane season. Some of the worst hurricanes hit the United States during the last week of August, so be prepared and make a plan for your family now. With your Weather Impact Report, I'm meteorologist Danielle Moss.